why do games just want to milk the shit out of their player base? Oh, I must say, the rain sound in this game is quite relaxing, isn't it? Welcome back to Level with me. Back in Final Fantasy XIV, we'll keep going with the MSQ, which is, I believe, we're going to need to go back and now to reassemble all of the... Oh, what happened? No, I don't want to join the fate, I gotta go. Yeah, so we need to reunite all of the 3 grant companies. As far as I know, that's what we need to do. Alright, let's see, what do we do here? Where are we going? I know it's been a while since we played Final Fantasy XIV. Alright, let's go while I talk about something. I think one of the things I've been playing recently, or at least spending a little bit... Are these textures new? Or is it just me? One of the games I've been playing a little bit of is Guild Wars 2, because the 20-year Guild Wars 1 was very recently, a couple weeks ago, as of recording of this video. Oh, by the way, I don't know if these things are called the same, but anything that, like a cable car that goes up and down, is called a funicular. A funicular. Although here, I guess it's not that, it's just a cable car, isn't it? Is it called a funicular? I think it needs to be enclosed, or at least it needs to move people. But here, there's nothing here. I guess there is supposed to be like a cart that goes on it? I don't know. How does this work? Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, so I've been playing a little bit of Guild Wars 2. I started playing Guild Wars 2 when they first came out, long ago, 2012. I pre-ordered it. Guilds? Sure. Yeah, so I pre-ordered it on EB Games back in the day, so, which no longer exists now. And I started playing them with some friends, and I was like looking at the new 20-year anniversary for Guild Wars 1, and then I started playing Guild Wars 1, and then I realized friends I haven't seen in 15 years? Because I logged on, I look at my friends list, and last logged on for some of my friends are 15 years ago, which was pretty sad. And I was like, oh man, kind of miss the good old days, you know? Is this the right way to go? Yes. And then I went to Guild Wars 2, which I really enjoyed, actually. I like the art style. I like how pretty it is. I like all the skills, the designs. And how, like, not too hardcore, you know? Am I going the wrong way? I guess so. And I just wanted to play, because I was watching some other video where they were saying how Guild Wars 2 should be played differently than the other video games, or other MMOs. Am I doing this wrong way? Oh man, this is great. I'm gonna cut this part until I get to I actually find the thing, or we can talk about Guild Wars 2. Yeah, so I was playing Guild Wars 2, and I wasn't really doing anything. There was nothing really in particular I wanted to do, but what I did want to do was to actually buy the expansions. And one of the reasons I think was that in a world where video games want to milk as much as possible out of the player base, you know, like the new games with microtransactions, or even things like the new marathon stuff where they're like, hey, this is going to be a pay-to-play game where you have to pay, and not only do you have to pay, you also have to buy the little microtransactions and unlocks and all that crap. And I was just like, dude, man, why? Did I go downstairs or just upstairs? Why do games just want to milk the shit out of their player base? Now, I get it, you want to make as much money as possible. Well, what about a game like, you know, Final Fantasy XIV, where the first iteration was so shit, they decided, you know what, let's take that down, and let's remake the game and make it better. And they're still running strong, right? Or games like No Man's Sky, where at first it launched, it was terrible. It did not deliver on the promises at all. And what did they do? They didn't come out, they didn't justify, they didn't say, oh, the fans are wrong. They hunkered down, they didn't say anything, they worked their ass off for a year or two, and they released a game that was so good, it was better than anything else. And even today, it was one of the better exploration games out there. And there's so many expansions, and they didn't try to charge people for it. They didn't charge people for like, oh, here, pay $20 for an expansion, and here it's $20 for a season pass, or not crap. They didn't do any of that. They just make the game, they released the game, they worked on it, they kept working on it, they never stopped working on it, and you know what? that made me want to buy the game 7 years after the launch of the game. And I was thinking the same thing for Guild Wars, where the game's still around, the dev didn't fuck it up, and I just wanted to buy the game to support them. Alright, let's go do our quest. What? Oh, that's cool. It's been a while. I kind of forget, not so up to date on the story anymore.
Behold, 'tis the Sultana Nanimo herself!
And Roban as well!
Oh, the height difference is massive.
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore!
I think I'd be had some bosoms, sure.
Hurrah!
Hurrah!
Roban! Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold. Where by the grace and glory of Naldal have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ul'dah!
Uh-huh. Man, the texture on that belt, the straps
There,
look great.
At the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Thank you for that exposition.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm.
You know what? Look at the strap here. Look, they're super high res. And then the leaden texture here on the shirt is not nearly as good.
In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Who are these two?
Yet many left our gates, never to return.
So what are they meant by that? Or there goes a fight? Right, oh, right, the calamity, I guess.
Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests.
I assume Thal is some sort of underworld god where when you die you go see him or something like that?
If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death.
Okay.
Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Ul'dah stands to fall.
Right, so this is the motivation speech for them to go to war, I guess?
Victory
Yet again.
and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you. Line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people.
It makes sense.
Yeah, for Ul'dah!
Together we are one.
Your
Really stoking
grace.
up the nationalist fervor there, huh?
Raubon?
Oh, jeez.
People of Ul'dah, I, Nanimo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Ul'dah. Yet those who measure that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Ul'dah, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the inferno, for we are, by fire, reborn!
Okay. Cool. That was a nice speech.
Forsooth!
The time is now!
If you'll permit me, Alfino,
Alfie know it.
and my sister, Alize, at your service.
Alice.
I saw
I
at
would
a
not remember
glance
these
that
names.
you were a fellow traveler.
And the names in this game, dude. Like Ul'dah, like Alfino, fucking, what was the other one? Nanamo. Man,
You
it'll
might
be
call
tough.
us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
What's interesting is that you can pick characters that are like this tall, and you can pick massive characters, and their eyelines needs to match. Well, that's interesting. I gotta do all of this stuff in real time. The Udans have long history of conflict with the Amalja. Amalja are the cat beast things, right? Is it the cat beast? I don't know, one of those ones. The beast tribe that worship the primal Ifrit. Judging by the look of this taste, I take it you have encountered them many times actually. The Odans do not shy from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. Okay, so they guard their prosperity or their wealth very carefully. So have they dealt with the Ifrit thus far, smothering his flame each time he is stoked to light. Ifrit is the big guy, right? The big monster thing, or what do they call it? I can't remember. Yet he is but one of several problems, though they have been quiet these past 5 years. The Guardians have not gone away. Right, so the main bad guy for this game, or the future story, is the Guardians, right? Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves. The Ul'dah have no clear policy on how to deal with them. After all, not even the Sultanate's coffers are bottomless, and even assuming they have the coin, resources will be finite. Indeed. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It has been observed that the Amalja are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do so, the Udans send their forces to smite the primal, right? And though they invariably succeed, each victory is brought with blood. It is a war of attrition which they cannot well sustain. Small wonder, then, that the immortal flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, an adventurer of your experience could be a most welcome addition to their ranks. I thought we need to get all the three nations to work together. Okay. Attend the Remember Service at Royal Promenade in Ul'dah, sorry. I know, it's so hard, dude. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about is the business models for these games. New Gridania, and then we need to go to see the pirates, right? Lomenza. God damn it. Alright, so we gotta go get the airships. I mean, do we need to take the airship every time? That's okay, we'll take the airship, why not? It's a fun experience anyway. Airship landing, yep, yes. And so the business models. Final Fantasy XIV, as far as I know, let me know if I'm wrong though, is that the... let's go to Lominza. We'll leave Gardania last because that's where we came from, right? I just want to leave the quote-unquote the homeland last. Can we skip this part? Use the full end to adjust speed. Oh. But yeah, I was looking at the business model for Final Fantasy XIV where you have to buy the expansions, right? And then you need to pay a subscription fee to keep the quote-unquote premium or I guess the full game. So it's like $14.99 US a month, which is like, I don't know, 150 Canadian dollars. Like Guild Wars 2, so they don't have the subscription model. You buy the expansions, but they have an in-game cash shop where you can buy the gems in-game with real money, which then you can buy either in-game items by, I think, running winch. Is that where we're gonna go? Upper decks. Is that the right place? Bulwark Hall. I think that's the right place, right? So then, like with that, right, with the gem model, where the cash shop item model is that obviously you don't need to pay, or, well, as a player, you don't need to pay the monthly subscription in order to keep playing the game. Here to attend the Remember service? Be quick. The Admiral is due to give her address at any moment. Yes, let's do it. So for me, who's somebody who's kind of busy with everything, I'm sure.
Another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
Oh, jeez.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
For everybody else who are busy, the subscription model may not work the best because you may not get a chance to play even in a month. But let's watch the cutscene.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride.
It is a cool boat.
700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Did you look, as the Admiral
here
did
again.
you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say.
Indeed, it is.
The crimson field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the black longship represents a pirate vessel.
Thank you for the exposition, Alpha Node.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom standard, and our grand company was reborn.
Okay.
All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners. And together, we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartano. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa.
We gotta do that shit again.
I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage. Yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom.
Well, they are pirates.
Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
Damn.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback
The Sahagin have risen?
While the mines of Ogomoro spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now the curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us.
We must fight or
One
sail again.
bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest.
No, the speeches are like so themed to each
Mark ye
empire.
well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men.
That's a good one.
To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom.
Okay, right. I need to
And with
click.
the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves till sea swallows all.
I do like it. She has a pan on her waist.
Long live the Admiral!
Yay!
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass? I'll follow ye to the 7 hells, Admiral!
Fancy meeting you again.
Indeed. Does this sister not speak at all? What's the situation here? As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Lemsa Lominsa is plagued by 2 beast tribes. First are the fish-like Sahagin, worshippers of a primal Leviathan. What's the other one? The second one are the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth, take the primal titan for their god. Didn't we fight those guys already? As if the beast tribe's presence weren't troublesome enough, the Garleans have also chosen to erect a fortress right in Lominsa's backyard. And that is to say not of the internal strife. As a nation of pirates, there's no end to the blood feud between the various factions. And while they fight amongst themselves, the Garleans wet their blades and watch. If the Lominsans are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. To this end, I'd expect that they will soon take decisive action against the Beast Tribe. Mark my words, and the Maelstrom Standard will be drenching a deeper shade of crimson ere long. What a capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. You said that last time. Well, I can't be all 3 places at once, can I? Alright, cool, that's good, nice. Alright, then we're going home. Fox is so cute, dude. Fox Kid? Kitsune? Kitsune? Oh. Her name is Kitsune. Fox Kid. That's so cute. Alright. Let's go back to our airships. I mean, if there's a better way to do it, that would be great too. Let's see, let's get a ticket. Get back to Gardania. Passage to Gardania. Yep, 120 kills. Why not? Yeah, so the subscription model versus expansion, which I think is better, because I'd rather pay once and then have the option to buy more stuff if I wanted to. And the good thing is there's no battle pass kind of thing for Guild Wars 2, which is a bit of a pain, honestly. It's not even as good as subscription model because it gives unfair advantages to some players who can afford to buy. And if it's on a subscription, for example, if you don't want to pay it, you don't have to play the game, right? And then it's like, hey, nobody's taking advantage, nobody having what you couldn't have just because you couldn't pay up. But then again, yeah, I don't know. To me, subscription just doesn't work anymore because I just don't have the time to do it. I used to pay for subscription for EVE Online quite a lot, actually. And can I just get out? Wait a minute, how do I? Oh, yeah, okay, where do we go? I think we need to go to the amphitheater. Right, the amphitheater is in the other bits. There, I used to have 4 EVE Online accounts, and each one of those accounts is $15, right? $14.99 a month for the subscription, which is a bit crazy. So yeah, I used to spend a lot of money on subscriptions, but that's when I had a lot more free time. Alright, Old Gardania. Just teleport over. Less walking the better. I'm not in real life. In real life we should be walking more. Alright, let's get started on it. Did the game get new texture or something? All of this stuff looks a lot more head-res. Oh, some of the stuff look a lot more head-res. Some of the stuff looks okay.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body.
Indeed.
Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood. Fearful of the Green Wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest.
Oh man, that's so cool.
Through
the speeches are so
effort,
themed.
They proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard?
Yes, yes.
Hanging behind the Elder Seed Seal.
God damn it. I don't know.
The entwined serpents
exposition again.
unity between Hyur and Elysian. An elegant symbol. Do you not agree?
Indeed.
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us.
Like these little straps, you see in the back there? They look like little arrows. Right? They look like little arrows that open up the jacket. Anyway.
Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness.
He's like, I don't want to fall asleep. I must open my eyes wide.
And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat.
Mm-hmm.
5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Carteneau.
So, when this A Realm Reborn came out, was that, so 5 years ago, was that when the original Final Fantasy XIV came out? So that's why there's so many of these 5 years referenced in the Calamity and all that stuff?
It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice.
Like, they always talk about sacrifices and things like that, and about how people have died. I mean, it's a war, you would expect that, wouldn't you?
Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the Calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable.
Right, so everybody got their own problems. Everybody got their internal issues. They also get the external issues. And all of that stuff is driving them together to unite because they could not stand the whole thing on their own. Right? That's the story
so
here.
Beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk
Pox
the
on the
high
bloody
roads without
Ixal.
fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
So when they say that when the battle happened, was that the Calamity or is that a different event? Man, I need to watch Jesse's videos again. Catch the lore.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
Make a video game, I guess.
The destruction wrought by the Calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike.
So was there a war with the Guardians and then the Calamity happened? Or was the Calamity caused by the Guardians? What is
Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united.
Right.
Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you, join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity. We must think of the children.
Woods will
Think
be
of the
done. It's up
children.
to us to protect the forest. All the elementals!
Well, at least they have some belief. Well, that's good. Alpha note again. Alright, what do you gotta say now?
Fancy meeting you again.
Oh, indeed. Was that it? Oh, right. The Gardanians are unfortunate enough to have contended with 2 beast tribes. The Ixal are unquestionably the more troublesome, being a naturally warlike disposition, and wont to summon their bloodthirsty primal Garuda. The Sylphs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and have long been on friendly terms with the Gardanians, until recently at least. At last, they have grown aloof, a change observed in roughly the time they summoned the primal Rama. The Gardanians have no love for war, and they consider open conflict a last resort. Though they clash with Ixal ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do so in self-defense. As for the Sylphs, they are as yet bounded by a peace treaty, though one wonders how long it will be before it is broken. The 12 Woods are grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gardania vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the wood and thereby the power of the elementals will put an end to their woes. Yet how long will that take? Centuries, I wager. Meanwhile, the Ixal will continue their incursions, spurred on by Garuda and her insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gardanians like it or not, sooner or later it will come to all-out war, and when it does, the Order of the Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. An adventurer like you should be helpful, right? How valuable might the aid of a capable adventurer prove to them, then? Well, perhaps we will find out if the Elder Seatseer's wars fell on fertile ground. Yes, we'll see how the things turn out, huh? Cool. So that's... Oh, getting a phone call. Marina, it's Melphilia. Are you well, I hope? Are you well, I hope? Would I be correct in thinking that the final Remember service has not concluded? A moment ago, you say? What a coincidence! Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests from the Grand Companies? Well, delighted though we are to have them here at the Waking Sands, and it would not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back. Oh, so we do have to decide which one to join, huh? Alright, let's report back to Memphilia. I got like a Bluetooth earpiece or something? Alright, how the hell did we get there? Oh man. You know, in contrast, I think the Guild Wars 2 map are much more straightforward. Okay. We gotta go back to Lomenza. 531 gills? Taking an air... How much money do I have? I got a lot of money, okay. Let's save time, dude. Alright. Let's go up. Up one more. Let's go back to Linza. Let's jump to Horizon, right? Yeah, because I don't think we have any other... Yeah, we'll just go back to... Yeah, it'll be just quicker this way. And I do like the fashion options. I think there are more fashion options in Final Fantasy XIV than they are in Guild Wars 2. Now, I could be wrong. And I feel like Guild Wars 2 is a little bit older. Is that right? I don't know. But either way, like these two games feels to me very, in many ways, very similar. One of the things I do enjoy about Guild Wars 2 is that the combat at least feels a little bit more fluid, a little bit more freeform, a little bit more actiony than, say, Final Fantasy XIV, where it's a little bit more of a traditional MMO feel. And it's like, it's up to the person. It's not really which one is better, which one is worse. They all have their own advantages, and also they just feel different. And I think these two games are probably can be played at the same time. And I do want to play a little bit more Guild Wars 2 because I do have really fond memories playing it back in the day when the game launched. And I remember spending a lot of time looking at the map, doing 100% on the map, right? And that was a fun experience. Although back in the day, I was really more focused on just getting the game, quote unquote, done. You know, get to the end, get to the end of the game, and quote unquote win the game. But nowadays, I want it to be a little bit more of an enjoyable experience. I want to spend time. I want to slow down. I want to have fun, instead of just finishing the game or getting to max level or get the best gear or whatever. And it's nice too that some of the stuff you know will take a while. But I guess the trick is then how do you have fun or stay interested during that time. And I do enjoy the story, and I know Final Fantasy XIV is really famous for its story. And that's why I wanted to play more Final Fantasy XIV. Alright, let's go, we're here. Although I do wish they had more voice acting, like Elder Scrolls Online, which is all voice acted. Which way? This way? Wait, this way. Solar. Let's go. So do we have to decide which one to join, right? Serpent Officer, Stormwars, yeah. Welcome back! Were the Grand Company's leaders wars as illuminating as you had hoped? It's good. Each nation is beset with problems. I trust you see now why your service are seeing such demand. With that, there were more of you, Verona. But you must be tired from your journey. Why don't you rest a while and take a moment to reflect on your decisions? Once your mind is made up, pray give the Grand Company officer your answer. Yay. Do they have bodyguards?
The gods only know what Grand Company our adventurer friend will keep. The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
What the fuck are these up to? These two up to?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
Did he scheme something? What is going on?
So-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies. As though the Calamity and Seventh Umbral era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies.
That's literally what it is, isn't it?
Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None. I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity?
Wait, aren't we the Warrior of Light?
No, dear Alizé, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them.
And the reason why they elected to omit them is to put the onus back on themselves so that they feel like they have more control over the situation than, say, relying on a random individual who's blessed with this power of light. Is that the case?
Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies.
The scions of the Seventh Dawn.
Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the Calamity behind us. Of course they were standard waving. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the war. I suppose they must have forgotten. No, dear Alizé, they haven't forgotten. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the Calamity behind us.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience.
So is she more of like an absolutist where things need to be right, quote unquote right? And then Alpha Node is more like, hey, whatever works, we just need to get to a better place, and whatever that may be, whatever path they may choose to do so is okay. But maybe Alizé is more like, no, we gotta do things the quote unquote right way. We can't just remember or forget what's convenient to us or whatever, right? Is that the case? Is that why she's so upset?
There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I need to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
It sounds a little bit like that, huh?
I should hope so.
My lady!
We are to escort you!
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister.
So who the hell are these
We'll
two?
prevail together or not at all.
Are these the Seventh Dawn person? Like whatever that organization
The
is?
salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds.
It's the two characters that we met before. The little one and then the girl with the goggles. Oh man, I don't remember
But
their names.
prevent old ones
Dude, I'm
from
terrible.
opening anew.
I mean, what he said makes sense, but it doesn't. There may be better. There will be compromises, right? So I need to speak to all of them. All right, what you got? I take the Elder Seer's words have touched your heart. Have you resolved to entwine your destiny with that of the Twin Adder? Not yet. Oh, right, okay. I mean, does it matter which one we pick? Pledge your allegiance to a grand company. Allegiances can be changed at a later date. I mean, the idea, I think, is that we go with Gridania, because that's our homeland, right? Because my character. Flame officer. Take a General Ruban's word. Kindle a fire. No. What? You cannot seriously be considered joining our little grand company. Why, they're not nearly as grand as ours. Storm officer, what do you have to say? Oh, they do salute different too. How was the Admiral's speech? But you need not explain. You stand before me now is the answer enough. You have resolved to join the Maelstrom, have you not? No. Well, I dare say you have your reasons. But mark me, in stormy seas the strong of arm and the stout of heart must pull together, or the vessel will fall under. And when a ship goes down, the passengers always share the fate of the crew. Remember that. I mean, you can change it a later day, so it's probably not a big deal. Let's just join the Twin Adders. Let's just... Because I feel like it's thematic in our pursuit that we stay with the homeland. And also, Gardenia looks the nicest. Yes. You have chosen wisely, my friend. Elder Cecir will be overjoyed. Without further ado, let us speak of practical matters. In order to complete the enrollment procedure, you must report to the Adder's Nest. Seem eager. I got some yellow dye. That's cool. Yes, let's do it. I dare say you know it well from me wandering in New Gradania. Give your name to the personnel officer there, and he will guide you through the formalities. Very nice. I have no doubt, but that your deeds will bring great honor to our order. When next we meet in Gradania, I shall be proud to call you sister. Great. The company you keep. So we just gotta go back now, huh? I think we're about, what, 55 minutes in the recording, so I think we'll go ahead and run that quest next time. And thanks for watching. I hope you have a good day. And you know what? Let me know how you guys feel about the business models. One is a subscription, which used to be the gold standard for MMOs, but now less and less of that. And the fact that older games like Guild Wars 2 and even Guild Wars 1 is still around. How do you feel about that? Also, how do you feel about games that are not so great on launch, like Final Fantasy XIV or No Man's Sky, but they've gotten much better over the time, and how you feel about that, and if you think that's a good thing or you don't really care. And have a fantastic day. Take care of yourself, take care of anybody you can, and see you guys next time. Bye.